All right, how we doing? So today is Friday. It's actually Thursday, but by the time you watch this, it'll be Friday. So what you're going to be doing for your next project is you are going to start working on um, familiarizing yourself with portraits. Okay, and we are going to start out by doing a self-portrait project, but this isn't necessarily a project that we're going to be displaying in like an art show or anything like that. This is for our own personal use and to improve our portrait skills. This is a very small project. It's probably going to take us about 1 week, um, which will be the week of September 22nd. I got to change this. It should be the week of September 26th through the 30th. So you're basically going to start that on that Monday. Okay, now the reason why I'm making this video ahead of time is because on Friday, September 22nd, which is probably the day that you're watching this, I will be out. I'm going to be doing some personal things at home. And then on Monday, unfortunately, I'm also going to be out. I will be in the building, but I'll be at a meeting. So um, unfortunately, it didn't time up that great. But anyway, you are going to start this on Monday. Okay, now there's a few things that you need to do. The first thing is in your sketchbook. If you look at last week's week at a glance, or sorry, if you're watching this Friday, it's going to be this week's week at a glance. There is a prerequisite activity. Prerequisite is just a fancy term for a requirement before you start the actual project. So this activity will acclimate you with the common proportions, so like all the different pieces and parts of the human face. And you're not drawing anybody specifically. You're just opening your sketchbook and you are going to sketch out those proportions. I also showed you in class on Thursday. If you weren't here Thursday, you probably missed it. But you're going to take this picture right here and you are basically going to recreate that diagram in your sketchbook. And it'll kind of break down all the different proportions and you should start to realize like, okay, this is how a portrait should be started. Okay? That's going to be done in your sketchbook. And then on either at the end of the day, Friday, if you already finished your hand and you don't need to work on that anymore, or if it's Monday in class, you're going to grab one of the class iPads. Okay. And when you get the iPad, you're going to go to the camera app and you're going to take a picture. Okay. So this is my self portrait. You're going to take a picture of your face. Okay. So it's going to look something like this. You take a picture and it should take up pretty much the entire frame, your face. If you take a picture, if you take a picture like this, well, that small of a portrait is not going to translate onto the paper. Okay, you don't want to have to crop that picture. Now, if you take a picture and you end up liking the one you take, um, then you can go ahead and crop it. But for the most part, just hold it up a little closer to your face, and it'll take a better picture. The other thing I want to tell you about or talk to you about really quick is that this is not a fashion contest. I know that we have a lot of insecurities. I know that we want to get a perfect picture. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to have the iPad and sit there for 10, 15 minutes trying to take this perfect picture. Okay? Because it doesn't really matter. You're just taking a self portrait, and this is just an activity. So I hope that doesn't stress people out or anything like that. But this is a part of the course, and this is what we're going to do for this project. So take a quick picture. It doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. One thing that you do want to keep in mind, though, is that when you take the picture, you have it so that everything is nice and straight on. Okay, a lot of times people, um, especially nowadays, they think they have like a good side, right? Like I would say, this is my good side, this is my bad side, for example, right? Um, don't worry about what side it is. Okay, you don't want to take it at an angle like how I'm looking at the screen right now. You want to take it straight on so that both sides of your face are even in your picture. Okay, nice picture, straight on. Also, don't do it at like an angle where it's looking up or looking down. Just straight on picture. Once you take the picture, what you're going to do is, and this is probably going to take place on Monday since I'm going to be out, or I'm sorry, this is probably going to take place on Tuesday because I will be out on Monday. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this in Google Photos. We're going to edit them so it looks like this. And then we are going to print them out. Okay, so you can't really do the project, this mini project, until you do print your picture out. Okay, so like I said, that's going to be on Tuesday. Now, what I want you to do on Monday, okay, let me just backtrack a little bit. Friday, September 22nd, you're going to finish the hand project. You're going to turn it in. It needs to be turned in by midnight. I don't care what the due date says. It should be turned in by midnight. As long as I look at your screen, or as long as I pull it up and it says Friday, that's totally fine. Once you finish that and once you turn it in, you are going to open your sketchbook and you are going to recreate this portrait template. Okay, it's just a grid, not a grid. It's just a diagram that basically shows you the proportions. Okay, that's Friday. If you don't get to that by Friday, you are going to finish this on Monday. Okay, but when you show up to class on Tuesday, you should have watched this video called Introduction to Portraits. You should have, I think this video. Oh, cool. So this video, I forgot I made that. This video will actually show you how to do the diagram. Okay, that's what you're going to do Monday. On Tuesday, I'm going to demonstrate, and I'm actually going to do this here in a minute. I'm going to demonstrate how to get started on this half portrait project. Okay, the half portrait project is going to be due on Friday. So you're going to have half of this period to work on it, maybe like 15 minutes, this whole period, this whole period, this whole period. Okay, so you will have about 3.5 days of in-class work. And then this is a very simple project to take home with you if you need to work on it outside of class. But it is going to be a fully rendered, fully shaded in picture. Okay. I hung up some examples on the board. I will also post those into Polaris just so you have an idea of what the expectation is. But we will kind of work our way through that. Okay. If you have any questions, the best way to communicate with me is definitely email. I usually get back to you even if I'm outside of school. Give me a couple hours to get back to you, but I usually get back to you pretty quick. On Friday, I will definitely make sure that during the day I check my email because I know you'll be in school and you might have some questions. But then on Monday, I'll be checking my email pretty much the whole day because I'll actually be in the building on my computer. So if you have any questions, email me and we will work our way through it. All right. All right. Have a good day, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.